Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm Jo'Van.
And I'm Brandice.
And this is
Closing the Gap.
We're so excited that you're here. You're probably wondering why our show is called Closing the Gap. Well, we live in a time where there's tons of information out there, and it's hard to determine what's true,
What's false,
what's meaningful,
and what will truly feed your soul. We want to create a platform, a safe space for young adults to discuss everyday issues, but with a godly perspective. If you have questions, this is a show for you.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
And if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. What are you waiting for? I mean, you're going to watch every week, so you might as well get notified.
Right, hit that bell. So if you've been following us for the past few weeks, you know that we're doing our summer series. And for this episode, we're discussing summer essentials, things that you need to have a successful summer. So first off, I'm going to start off strong. And we're going to fight the mustiness of the hot
yes.
month. Get some deodorant, people.
Yes.
Because I don't want to smell that when I'm at the beach. I don't want to smell it when I'm walking down the street. Come on now.
Listen.
Some of y'all smell like straight onions.
Right. And listen, for our natural people, there's some good natural deodorant out there. I've tried some, but make sure it's going to keep up with that heat, because that heat is no joke, especially living down south. Find the right deodorant.
Right. You must, pun intended, you must wear deodorant.
It is a definite must.
Yes.
That is number one, people. Number two, sunscreen.
Ooh, yeah.
Listen, you have to protect your skin from the sun rays. If you want to look that popping when you get older, make sure you protect yourself and get that sunscreen.
Absolutely. And sunscreen helps to stop wrinkles.
That part.
So if you want to look like
Angela Bassett.
Exactly. Oh, you know she wears sunscreen. She put sunscreen on before she go to sleep at night. Like, that's how much she wears sunscreen.
At night. She probably
she's like,
what's some other essentials people need to?
Oh, flip flops. You know what I'm saying? You got to have those. You got to be careful.
Without the socks.
I mean,
maybe.
It's
no.
preference.
Okay, I guess. Whatever. It's preference.
Yeah.
Listen, good little sundress, shorts.
Oh, yeah. I've already bought mine.
Yes. Okay, and speaking of sundresses and shorts, what does people need? Lotion!
Yes. Vaseline for the knees, you know what I'm saying? Got to make sure. Nah, my personal preference is not lotion or Vaseline. It's coconut oil.
I knew you
people.
was going to say that.
That junk works. It makes you shiny, melanin popping. Get you some coconut oil.
Yes, it will change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had some on last show. It was like shining.
Oh, absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
I actually got some as a gift, and it's like top 3 gifts I've ever gotten.
Top 3?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Let's see. What else are some things you need for the summer?
Shades. You don't want to be blind by the end of summer 2021.
Yes.
Okay? I bought some Ray-Bans. It was very expensive, but that's top 3 purchases I've ever made in my life.
Yeah. I have some as well, but I love them. But if you're out and about, you're going to the beach, you're going to football games or whatever, you need a chair, an umbrella to shade you from from the
100%.
Yeah, and also a hat.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that you need for the summer to make it hot. Ladies, get those pedicures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Protective styles. You don't want to have to deal with your hair in the heat. It's just too much.
I agree.
Yeah. Good
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I think that, I mean, what else? Are we missing
anything? Let's see. I think we got it all. Like, well, not all, but I think we got the top essentials.
Yeah. Oh, and if you go to the beach, thank me later. Don't forget your beach towel. Don't forget chairs. I know we talked about that. And
a nice bag.
Oh, yeah. Nice bag, umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get you a bucket for your sandcastle. I don't know what you do, but hey, you don't want to. It's better to have it and not need it. You know what I'm saying?
That part. Drink, and also, people, while it's hot out there, drink lots of water. Stay hydrated. You don't want to be passing out in this heat. It is so hot. We're in the South, so listen, this heat is no joke. You have to stay hydrated. So whatever you do out and about, make sure you're drinking some water.
Agreed.
But yeah, so yeah, just stay tuned with us as we continue our summer series throughout the rest of the summer. So thank you, guys.
You know, Brandice, I'll tell you one thing that you shouldn't wear to the beach.
Lord, what is this?
A bonnet. If If I see one bonnet on the beach,
what are you gonna do?
I swear. No, I was playing. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything. But what do you think about that? Can you wear a bonnet to the beach?
Listen, personally, my beliefs. No, I don't believe in wearing bonnets outside. I don't.
What define outside?
Outside your residence.
Okay.
Maybe to your mailbox. That's as far as you can go and be acceptable.
What about Walmart?
Is that outside your house? Is it outside your house?
It's outside your house, but hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Walmart, I would argue anything's fair game.
Okay. Well, personally, I disagree with the whole bonnet thing. I don't like it for myself, but there's a whole thing going on now with people it's like a debate. Bonnet or not to bonnet? That is the question.
Oh, okay. What is that? Is that Shakespeare?
Yes. I don't know. I was just saying isn't it from Hamlet? That was like,
oh, look at you. I thought you were about to say Hamilton.
That's what threw me off for a second. I was like,
is it Hamlet or Hamilton?
So thank you for saying Shakespeare first, because I was like going through my head like, no.
Okay.
But yes, that is the question. For me personally, I wouldn't do it for myself, but at the same time, I'm not going to bash or criticize another sister out here wearing a bonnet. But let me just put this caveat out there. If you're just going to do like a quick errand or to the park, whatever, but don't wear it to a job interview or to a nice restaurant. But if you're doing a quick errand to Walmart or CVS, gas station, whatever, okay, that's your life. You can do what you want to do. But I guess my thing, if you're just doing those quick little things, I'm not about to sit on the internet and just bash a sister. It's just too, as we have so much we're going through already. I just don't agree with all the bashing and the negativity we're putting out there.
You know what? I agree. You know, if I saw someone driving, I saw a lady driving and she had a bonnet on, I really wouldn't even think twice about it, honestly, because it's just like, okay. But I mean, honestly, I don't think I really pay attention to women wearing bonnets in public like that. It's not like it's like that widespread. I think when Monique was talking about it, she was talking about she saw a lot of bonnets in the airport.
Yeah.
And part of me understands why, because people like to travel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
and some people like it's protecting their hair. So I don't know. I mean, I would not personally do it. I don't like it for myself. I just don't like bashing on our community. It's just so much that we are going through as a race. I just don't want to be another person just like adding that on. And again, like I said, don't go wearing it to the job interview, these nice restaurants. But if you're running to the store or whatever, you have one on, do you, sister?
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What is the stigma? What do you think when people see a bonnet in public? What do they think?
I think initially that first thought, like, well, amongst us, is like, oh, it's ghetto, it's ratchet, or whatever. You don't take pride in yourself, things like that. But if you don't know what's going on, you just it's so much stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But the same sentence, it's all this on bonnets and everything, but we never hear the same on guys wearing do-rags out. Why is it one way?
Okay.
It's not, I mean, there's conversation, but it's not as like big or criticized as the bonnet for the women.
You know, I thought about that because I was like, valid. However, I don't, and you know, this is where I want you to step in. I don't hear criticism with black women wearing scarves around their head. I don't hear that. I hear the bonnet thing. I don't see scarves being problematic. And I look at do-rags being more closely related to the scarf than bonnets, just because bonnets are more baggy.
Yeah.
Scarves are more
compact.
compact.
But there are two different reasons why a woman wear a bonnet than a scarf.
Okay, so why would a woman wear a scarf versus a bonnet?
A bonnet more like curls, like you have a loose whatever. A scarf, if you have some like you have your hair wrapped or something that you want to, is a certain style. It's different styles would dictate which one you wear. So it's not like just like across the board, I'm just gonna wear a bonnet or vice versa. It's a reason why, depending on what kind of style she has, is dictating why she's wearing which one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just feel like the bonnet is a little. I think it's because it's so much bigger and baggier.
I mean, the look is just not an attractive look.
It's not like a do rag to me, especially if it's like rolled up in the back. It just looks very neat to me.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right for one to get hate and the other to not.
Yeah.
I think for me, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I get both sides of the argument. I really, really do, guys. I just need the public bashing to stop. This whole tearing another sister down is what I need to stop. Is what I want to stop.
Right.
It's just I don't think that's very beneficial for us. We have so much stuff else other things against us. Let's please just stop that public bashing. Like there's a lot of more issues that we have to deal with. The public, oh, she should wear a bonnet. Who cares? Look, at the end of the day, who truly cares?
Right.
So let's just get it together. Let's stop bashing each other and just like, can we just all get along?
I got you. Well, let's turn to the word. Hebrews 10 verse 24 says, let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works.
Amen.
And make it your goal to help, not hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the conversations on the internet is like it's the hurtful kind. And it's just like, why? Like, this is your sister. This is your brother. Like, well, it's your sister out here with the fun on. Why are you out here bashing her? You know? Publicly, but you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have that side, like, hey, maybe it's not a good look or whatever, on it, but just like that whole, I don't know, that's just tearing down.
Yeah, okay. So I agree 100% with that. Let's go back to Monique because this is what started it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I watched the video, and the reason why I'm bringing this back up is because I guess I agree, bashing shouldn't happen, but were you able to watch the video?
I did not, but wasn't she saying, like, take pride in what you're... To explain what to me.
Yeah, I felt more of she was just saying, hey, this is how it's perceived, and to her, it is not appropriate to wear the bonnet outside. To me, I didn't take that as bashing. I just saw that as her speaking her opinion. I think, to me, bashing would have been like,
well,
y'all are so ghetto, blah, 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 da, da, da. I think Monique, as a black woman, knows why a bonnet is worn. She's probably worn one plenty of times.
Yes. My thing wasn't against Monique. It was the people responding to that. And
so what were they saying?
I saw so many groups, like, it's like, they're ghetto, they're ratchet, they have no home training, all this stuff. And it's like, can we have that conversation amongst ourselves and not bring it out to the other community? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like social media, I mean, I don't know where you were looking, but if social media is just a place where toxic people can just run free. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I saw, and that's why I was like, when you brought it up the other day about Bonnets, I know you were joking, but it was like, that's all I saw. I remember friend groups were screenshotting stuff, sending it to me, saying about Bonnets. So it was like the discussion for weeks. So, and it wasn't even Monique. I agree with what she was saying. It was just the talk after for what she said, the hatred and I don't know.
So do you feel like we are conditioned to, as a people, to bash each other?
Definitely. It's like, yes, we're always criticizing. Yes, a lot of times.
So I guess one of the things is like, I guess the question is, you have to ask is why. You know, why do we do that to each other? I've always said, and that, we're going to get into the history of our people in this country. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I thought of, just organically was, would this even be an issue if we weren't in America? Because I feel like if everyone had the same hair, it'd be normal. Mm-hmm. But because we're a minority in this country, bonnets outside is like a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I feel like it's a whole thing.
And it's going to be perceived in a certain way. Just like, I remember back in a couple of years, like years ago, when we used to wear the long nails, the colorful nails, the colorful hair, all that. Oh, that's ghetto, da da da. But now you see like other celebrities wearing, now it's the trendy thing to do. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
And I want to say this, one thing I've noticed in United States is my country. So I don't want to say I don't appreciate everything that, certain people in this country have done to make this country good. But we some people are like, why you always got to talk about slavery? Well, it's because slavery affects us to this day.
Yes.
And those days conditioned us to hate ourselves. And even the media today still conditions us to hate ourselves. So let's go back and just talk about, which slaves were allowed to live in the home versus which ones were allowed to live, or that were staying outside
working in the field. Yeah.
And even back then we were taught like, these are good,
yes,
these are bad.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And things like that is still carried on today. I see so many conversations of like, preference, like, I prefer light skin or dark skin, which that's the whole thing. But then it's like, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, or it is like, so all these different things that carry on to this day that started back from slavery. So when we continue to bring it up, it's because it's still carried on today. There's still so many issues that is lingering today. I mean, you see it everywhere in the media. You see it in the makeup companies. Like, for the longest, we couldn't find our shade. I mean, it wasn't until Rihanna came out with Fenty that it was ready for everybody, accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
And now everybody was like, want to join the bandwagon, like, oh, okay, this is a cool thing to do. No, we've been living in this country for how many years, and we just been saying we are here too. We matter, and we want to have that accessibility to the same things that you guys have. And which, I don't know, it's just a whole lot. I mean, I know makeup is so small, but it does matter, so especially to women. Like, it's just, you take pride in yourself. So when you see, as a dark skinned girl, we don't see your shade in the store, it just makes you feel like you're less than. And then you see all those portrayals in the media where it's always the light skinned girl who's getting, and it's like, it just drives that colorism divide so much farther within our community.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, I mean, you hit on exactly where I was going. It's just like, even from the beginning of us getting here, if you have light-skinned black people living in the home, but the rest are in the field, the dark-skinned people, then you can't help but think, if you've been conditioned that way, that, light skin is better because it's closer to white skin. You know what I'm saying? That whole type thing. So it's kind of, but we can't really solve outside of our own people. We have to, as a people, start looking at each other and be like, hey,
love
at the end
each
of the day,
other.
we're both black, man. So it's
That
just
part.
like, why are we hating each other? And it's so sad because, I mean, I've heard stories of, kids growing up in all black schools, but if they're like super dark, they get teased for that.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's the dumbest thing, but we've been conditioned to feel that way.
Yeah, and that just breaks my heart. It's just like just back to the Bonnets thing. It's like, I mean, that's like night and day comparing the two, but at the same time, it's just the bashing and the criticizing each other and just like that divide. Like, why can't we just come together and understand that we are in this together and just see that, and we don't have to fight two battles,
Well, yeah. And we are fighting two battles.
Yeah.
We're fighting each other, and we're fighting. And that goes to honestly,
Lord.
For us, one of the things that I know we as a people want is respect from the rest of the country. But it's like, when we tear each other down, how does that give us respect? That's like one of our, someone mentioned that, some of our people say, Black Lives Matter, but then we have our own black people that say, we got black people killing black people. And it's like, yes, that is true. There is black on black crime. There is white on white crime. There's Asian on Asian crime.
Proximity,
you know what I'm saying?
people.
Proximity. The people you live around are the people you're going to kill. I mean,
I know what you meant, but the way you said it.
Yeah, the way I said that. Even as I said it, I was like, okay. Cut,
more crime
whatever.
is going to happen.
Exactly.
So that means we're, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to, anyway. Woo. Anyway, let's get back on track.
Black on black
It's
crime.
like, yes, we're not saying black on black crime doesn't exist, and we're not saying that crime isn't important. What we're saying is just Black Lives Matter. And trust me, I get it. Because if you say Black Lives Matter to a person who sees all this uproar because there may be some white on black violence, but you don't hear that same uproar on black violence. I can see how that person's just like, oh, but do you even care about your own people? Because
we do, but guess what? If a black person kills another black person, guess what? That person gonna get just that person gonna go to jail and be held accountable. What we don't see is when that's so even when you say that, you sound kind of stupid.
That's valid. It's a valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
That's all. At the end of the day, is like we're going through so much. It's like just don't add to that weight and that burden we already have on each other. Let's all just come together and just love on each other. Don't just stop criticizing and bringing hatred within the community.
So, and yes, this isn't just obviously what we're talking about. It's not something that only affects the black people in America. This is a worldwide thing. This happens all across the world. My question is, what, in your opinion, because this is the way what I think of. Okay, us as black people, how do we, like, what power do we have? What power can we take control of? Because a lot of the us to be acting a fool on social media, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying other races don't do it too. And it's almost like we almost have to hold ourselves to a higher standard than other races at this point. You know what I'm saying? Which is not fair.
So
but But how do we turn this around? You know what I'm saying? Or what do we do? Or can we do anything about that?
I think I honestly believe if we just unite and come together as a community instead of doing what we're doing, is like tearing each other down. So it's like we're doing this, and then it's like take one step forward, and it's like 2 steps backwards. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I just feel like I think it's a game for some. Like I think it's fun for some of our community to tear each other down because we just love doing that.
Yeah,
you know
it is something I really want to, because we do it so often, and just sometimes it comes so natural. It's like, why are we so critical? Like, why? I just wonder why. I don't know. Thinking of another scripture about that is Proverbs 12:18. Thoughtless words can wound as deeply as any sword, but wise spoken words can heal. So just be mindful, people, for with the words you are using amongst others within your community. They matter. Words matter. I know we had that saying back in the day, like sticks into stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But that's not true. Words actually hurt in this. Like, you might heal from those bruises, that broken bone, whatever, and you forget about it. But it's some words you can think on for years later. So I don't know where that saying came from, but it's so for the furthest thing from the truth that words they matter and they can truly hurt. So be mindful of how you speak to people. Make sure you're always trying to uplift and speak in love. So that's just that's what Jesus wants, is you just show love to your neighbor. So just make sure we're always doing that, striving to do that. If you see somebody down, do it out of love. Don't do it in like, girl, that's ghetto, that's ratchet, or whatever the case may be. You can do it in a loving way and still get your point across. This bashing, it has to stop. This, like, all this harmful things, it has to stop. We have to come together as a community, and that's just not like just a black thing. That's just as a whole, we all have to come together. It's time. It's just winding down. It is time.
There's so many layers, I feel like, to this. I have so many thoughts that I can't even begin to, like, because I don't know. It's like, is it possible we all move as a unit? I don't think so. I think it just starts with the individual. We can all individually just be like, hey, recognize that we're both black. We're both experiencing similar things in this country. Let's have some empathy for each other, and like, let's talk to each other and not rip each other apart. That's not doing anything. Like, is that doing? You got to start looking at, is that doing something for you to tear another person down? Because it's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we got to heal. Probably there's probably a lot of healing as a culture that we need to do.
When you said that, it made me think, like, I know, like, I'm guilty. But, like, even in a community, we have to accept differences. Like, just because that person, you're black, I'm black, whatever, we're still gonna have differences. So if you haven't, like, we're so quick to like, I'm gonna take your black card, like, just because you haven't.
Man, I lost my black card like 100 times.
Right, but we have, like, let's stop. But we have to accept that everyone's different and everybody's experience is different. So if they like anime, or they like they haven't seen oh Lord, this is gonna hurt my soul for even saying this. But because I can't, okay, if they haven't seen Color Purple, listen, everybody's experience is different. So if they haven't seen those movies, it hurts my heart for saying that for Color Purple, but I stand by it though, because everybody's different, and so if we keep doing that, it makes you feel less than, like, I'm not even good enough for my own race.
Man,
did you? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So, did you watch the movie called The Green Book?
No.
So, in Green Book, this one powerful word saying he said.
I just lost my black card again. We're producing.
No, that's not a go. And we're gonna stop doing that in 2021. We're gonna stop doing that. Like, that's yeah. So in the movie, I can't know his name, but he plays this very successful piano player, and he's going around the world, like around the U.S., like performing, and his chauffeur is a white man, and they get down to this. It's in like the 60s maybe. So, I don't know. But they get down to the South, and he's saying how the white man is saying this to the black man. Oh, you're not really black. You're da da da. And the guy's like, how can you say that? I'm not black enough for my own people, but I'm not even white enough to be accepted amongst your people. So where do I stand? And I think that's a lot of people in our community that feels that way. Like, you might get successful, you don't have the same experience or shared thoughts of movies or whatever. Your likes is just different, and that's okay. It is okay. And I think as a community we have to realize that and accept people for who they are and their likes, and that's okay. So let's stop taking people's black card people because they haven't seen some movies or whatever. Let's stop. It's okay that you haven't seen The Color Purple. It's okay that you don't like I'm not gonna start because it's gonna sound like very stereotypical.
No,
but it's okay.
You what you just said was so powerful, because the stereotypes that have been projected onto us, we feel like we have to live up to them. And if you deviate from that, if you don't listen to rap, you know what I'm saying? If you don't don't speak a certain way, if you don't watch certain movies, I mean, you haven't seen Boys in the Hood? What are you? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bruh, my parents never played that. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that my fault?
No, it's not your fault.
I've seen Boys in the Hood. See, I feel like I have to say that. You know, I feel like I have to prove that I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the heck?
No, and let me stop.
Jeez. I've seen Juice too, okay? Give me a break.
I stand by what I said. I do. But in the black community, I don't know why we do. We have some movies that we just feel like,
you haven't seen Roll Bounce? What? Like, literally.
ATL?
I'm not gonna lie. Every time someone tells me they haven't seen ATL and they're black, I'm not gonna lie. Something in me is just like,
when you said Boys in the Hood, my heart dropped.
Oh, because you were like, that's me. Nah.
No, I've seen Boys. I thought you haven't seen it. I was like, snap.
But see, it's in us, man.
It's something in us. We have to stop people.
Nah, but for real. And look, we gotta be realistic. In this culture, that stuff matters. Like, should it matter? No, but it matters, because I think as black people, we look at each other and we want to know, like, how culturally, like, aware we are. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh,
and if you haven't,
you know
what I'm saying? Because if you haven't seen certain things, or if you don't listen to certain artists, or you didn't grow up in a certain type of church, we'd be like,
do you know what this even means? Did you even? Yes. And I think, this is going to a whole nother can of worms.
Let's get it, man. It's gonna be a long episode. This is a big thing.
It is, but I think because we don't necessarily have our own, like, culture. So I think with the movies and, like, the music, we kind of take that as ours. And so when you have it, it kind of like what? Like, does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, but so you said we don't have our own culture?
Like as far as
Okay.
African Americans,
Got
like in like this country, like
Okay. See, but we made our own culture.
we have. So exactly. So when somebody
Or
says
did
they
we?
haven't seen certain things, or when it's geared for us, it is like, what? Are you too good for us?
We did. I love black people, man. We made our own culture. we made the biggest music genre in the world.
Yes. Yes.
In the world.
So, but just to circle back, let's not tear each other down because they haven't seen some of movies.
Boys in the Hood.
That hurts my heart. But I will not judge you. It just, my heart will break a little bit, but I won't judge you. I won't tear you down. I won't bash you. I promise you I won't. I won't take your black card. I won't. Just cry at home. But
I wonder if white people say, "You haven't seen Mean Girls?"
Oh, yes.
Oh.
They have their, I'm not, that's a whole nother, but yes, they do. Sorry.
I haven't seen Mean Girls, but I know you wear pink on Wednesdays. I do know that. People.
Tuesday?
It's Wednesdays.
Oh.
Trust me. Trust me. I've worn a pink polo on Wednesday on accident, and they're like, Mean Girls," and I'm like,
But yes, let's
Nah.
let's not tear each other down, guys, for whatever the reason may be. Let's build each other up in love, and if it's something they're doing something crazy, remember, kind words.
absolutely.
But yes, thanks. Come in the comment section. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. What are some other things that you we've been like kind of bashing each other? Like, how can we build and uplift our community? We would love to keep this conversation going. But yes, can let us know. But thanks for watching.
Thank y'all for watching. We will see you next week.
Bye.